Hi guys, Sunny here back with you once again, drunk on crypto. CryptoSaint just joining us as well, perfect timing bro. I've just clicked the button, we should be going live any moment. Just joining us as well, perfect There we timing. Go. What's happening, Saint?
What's up, bro?
We got Robert up in the house. Saint? Crypto Country Boy joining us as well, nice, perfect. Right. Shout out to everybody in the live chat, Young Provo, Inahan, Locks, Craig, everybody there. Just to let everybody know as well, this is going to be a closed Zoom, so the people that are in here at the moment are the people that come in. We will invite, I think we discussed this, guys, we will invite CryptoBatman to join and kind of have his say as well, if, if that's good with everybody.
Yeah.
What's happening, CCB? You set up? Can you hear us?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Oh, very well, thanks, bro. We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. I had to download the app on my phone.
That's all right, bro. You managed to sort that out now. Just so you guys know as well, I've made CryptoSaint co-host as well, so he does have the power to mute me.
I'm booting everybody.
What's happening, LC? For salam, bro. Salam. Right, so I don't know how you guys want to kind of start getting into this. I know there's been, if you saw the thumbnail, there's been an accusation, I think, at the minute, CCB, that Batman's trying to extort you, or has. I'm not even clear on whether you sent him any funds or not. I don't know what's going on with the whole situation. So maybe it'd be best for you to explain it out a little bit first.
All right, so So here's the situation. Until about 2 weeks ago, I had open communications with Batman. Okay, via Telegram. I was one of the first people when he made that second channel that he shared it with. I watched the first video. Everything was fine. So every once in a while he would come to me and bitch about David because of my quote-unquote association in the past, the present, or whatever with David. I have contact with him. I can have contact with him at any time. Okay?
It's a little bit more than that then. But okay, sorry, go on.
And we can get into that.
Yeah, I just want you to, sorry, go through and explain through first, TCB, please, sorry.
Okay. So he contacted me a couple weeks ago and was like, David's full of shit. He's such a fucking liar. He's this, he's this, he's this. I said, dude, what are you talking about? Well, I'm needing to try to get this Bitcoin because something's going on, and I got to have this one Bitcoin. And David was supposed to give it to me. He's not giving it to me. He told me that he was broke. I said, okay. He's like, what do you know? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't talk to him very often. Maybe once every 2 weeks. And so I said, look, this is what I'll do. I said, I'll send him a text. I'll ask him I'll tell him that I need a little extra money this month for the bills for Coin Lotto. Could he help me out? If he tells me yes, he can, then that proves that he's not broke. If he tells me no, then to me, maybe that solidifies what he told Batman. So I did that. And I went back and I told Batman, hey, he even told me he didn't have any money. I said, okay, because I figured if he was going to turn down, if he turns down me, then he's going to turn down anybody else. So, okay, whatever. So that was good for about 2 weeks. Well, then about a week ago, he contacts me out of the blue. He says, David told me that you're broke. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, well, I was talking to David, and David said that you were broke and that you're getting ready to get evicted. And I said, why the fuck are y'all talking about me? Why does my name need to be in y'all's conversation? And he asked me again. He said, well, are you broke? And I kept asking about 3 or 4 times. Why are you guys talking about me? What the fuck do I have to do with what y'all talk about? Then out of nowhere, he deletes the chat and he blocks me. And then as soon as that happens, he then starts, quote unquote, leaking all this information about David. So I call David and I'm like, why the fuck is Batman asking me if I'm broke? Why the fuck are y'all talking about me? And so he proceeds to tell me the story of Batman asking him for money, that he's been asking him for money for about a month. Finally, he said, well, if you can't give me the money, ask Daniel or Country to give you the money. And he said, Daniel, he said, I told him that you were as broke as I was because every dime that you use, you spend on lotto. So you didn't have the money to give him. I said, okay, I said, can I get a screenshot of that? He said, sure. I'll send it to you as soon as I can. I literally got the screenshot today, which of course it got leaked. But the thing about it is this. Once he blocked me and was like, oh, you're a fucking scammer too, that now he's on Twitter and he's slandering Coin Lotto, he's slandering World Gaming Technologies, he's tagging the SEC and the FBI and all this other stuff on allegations because he's pissed off at me because I wouldn't give David the money to give to him. And that's where the quote-unquote extortion comes in. Did he ever personally ask me for money? No, he did not. But as soon as I started asking questions like, why the fuck are y'all talking about me? That's when he got all pissy. And, what pisses me off is him and I have had a lot of personal conversations because I've got a little brother that has dealt with a lot of the same struggles he has. And, he wants to sit here and talk all this shit about me. Ask him about all the conversations that we've had when it comes about trying to overcome a loved one with drug abuse issues or trying to motivate him not to go back into that life because he's depressed or he's this or that. Ask him, why don't he show all those fucking text messages instead of calling me a scammer because I wouldn't give money to a person that you were trying to extort. And you can play it however you want to. Well, I extorted a scammer and da-da-da. It's whatever. You're mad at me because I wouldn't give money to you. And so now you're mad. So you're going to start tagging my company and everything like that to the FBI and the SEC to get back at me and then have the nerve at the end of your post to go, hey, Daniel, that's wrong.
Is that about the up and down of it?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Oh, I just want to ask a couple of questions, CCB, on that. First of all, just on what you've said. First of all, I mean, because there is an association. I mean, you said we could get into it. There definitely is an association with ARB and David Peterson there from yourself as a person.
Not necessarily with ARB, but David. But you can say David is
well,
ARB.
ARB as well.
Yeah.
ARB as well contribute. I mean, it's not like he wasn't in and promoting ARB.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. So from there, then your relationship,
and a lot of other YouTubers,
your relationship with David, we could say, began there. Did it, or were you? Did you know David previous to that?
I was introduced to David previous to actually getting into ARB because I learned about ARB. I had heard about it on ICO, but it was really Austin who got me into ARB because, of course, he loved ARB so much and so, had gotten burnt with DeVore and gotten burnt with several of these dApps. And then, of course, the relationship / whatever with Revolution dApp, So, we wanted to build a dApp for ourselves. And that was shortly after I got introduced to David. And then, of course, myself and Dan and everything like that, we built Evolution. and
All right, yeah, no,
initially
we're going a little bit off point. I don't want to go too far off point.
I'm sorry.
CCB.
I'm sorry.
I was just trying to
No,
gather.
I didn't know David before Arb.
Okay, so my point was that there's definitely it's all right, bro. Listen, it's an open stream. I'm just trying to keep it on point a little bit. Where I mean, you said just now that you know the screenshot got leaked today.
Yeah.
What do you mean by
Screenshot
it
of
got
him
leaked?
asking-
Who leaked it?
I did.
Okay.
I'll just be truthful. I did.
You know, so I mean, it's just I'm trying to just be
Because I
open
wanted-
and try.
because I
Okay, so
wanted to
it's
clear
fair
my
enough.
name.
I don't want to, you know, I don't want people to think, oh, it was leaked. It's something that you've shown people, and that's what I
I'm
put.
sorry.
It's
Maybe
right.
leaked
I
was
put
the
that
wrong
in the thumbnail as well of this video, so everybody can see what we're talking about before the stream went active. That's what the kind of issue was directly. CCB Batman. What was that? I still don't understand CCB. What was that money supposed to be for?
I don't know.
It was owed to Batman, was it?
I don't know any of the details.
All you know is
All
that DP
The only
asked
thing that
DP asked you to pay it.
know, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did DP ask you to pay it, or I don't get the
No.
association there?
No, I didn't find out. I did not find out that he even asked David to ask me for money until I confronted David on why they were talking about me.
Okay, I see.
Because I was pissed.
And just from that intro, you told us as well that you've been in contact with Batman till up to about 2 weeks ago.
But yeah, about 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah.
And what about David?
Probably about 3 weeks ago was the last time I talked to him. 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3
So
weeks ago.
that's when I confronted him about it, and I said, "Hey, man, you need to, I need this screenshot."
Okay, what did he send you that today? Did he, the screenshot?
Yes.
Okay, so you've been in touch with David today, basically, or he's been in touch with you at least.
All it was he sent me the screenshot, and I said thank you. That
All
was
right,
it.
I'm just trying to establish, bro, because
Understand.
personally, my opinion is, I mean, I got some questions if you want to answer the questions, but you know where I come from when it comes to your association with David Peterson and how David Peterson has influenced and been a massive part of Coin Lotto for, a long time.
I wouldn't say he was a massive part of it, but, to each their own.
All right, okay. Without David's input, would you have got Coin Lotto to the point it's at today? No. So then he's been a massive influence, like I said in the first place.
In the beginning, yes. He helped
however
me out
it is.
a lot in the beginning, yes.
Okay.
I
just want to know as well, if we want to talk about Coin Lotto, where did the $1 million prize fund come from?
That is the $1 million you talking about for like the jackpot?
Yeah, this is the free, from what I understand, this is the free jackpot. You don't have to pay to enter to win this £1 million.
It's what?
Or million, now. Sorry, $1 million. Originally it was $1 million.
Yes. So
where is that $1 million?
I have 3 investors that I have contracts with that have guaranteed that money if someone was to win.
Did you obtain those investors through David?
1, yes. 2, no.
Is one of those David?
No.
Is it verifiable anywhere other than you saying that I've got these 3 guys that said if anybody ever wins that, we'll pay up?
Just a contract that's with my attorney.
So you have a contract with those?
Correct.
Okay. Why did it reduce to 250,000?
Because I felt like if we could move that from 1 million to 250,000 over to the Moonball, more people would play Moonball.
Okay. So just on Coin Lotto then for a moment while we're here now, what are the actual numbers at the moment? What kind of revenue have you generated from ticket sales?
We'll just say I'm not paying the bills with the profit that comes in.
Okay.
Very slow at the moment. I'm paying out of pocket.
Okay. But again, TCB, there's a lot of money gone into this in the first place, and people are, especially myself as well, are wondering what happened to that money. It was only a couple of months ago you paid 100,000 apparently to get Coin Lotto's name on a race car.
That's incorrect. It was not 100,000.
Okay, how much?
It was a lot less than that. But there was kind of some wheeling and dealing done too, because we did some token exchanges as well. But it was not 100,000. It was actually, matter of fact, it was less than 30.
Okay, so were those funds generated from income from the platform?
No, sir.
Right. Okay. Because I looked at your prediction, CCB, and there was hundreds of millions in turnover that you'd predicted based on other lotteries that are happening. And then it seems to me, I had a quick look, I get more people watching my weekly IND token giveaways than you get watching the lotto results.
On the watching the results, probably so.
Is it the case that you can win or claim a prize without watching the result, or do you have to watch the results to find out?
No, you do not have to watch the results. No.
Okay, how would you find out if you were a winner then?
So, if you check first of all, once the results happen, those are then entered by our attorney into the platform, and the database matches the numbers. And if there's numbers that match, then it will print out a paper. And I've even posted screenshots of like winners, and I make sure I black out their emails in both Telegram and on Twitter.
What's the total amount being won to date?
Do what, sir?
The total amount won by players on the platform to date.
We've had 2 winners win $100, and other than that, it's been $20 or less.
Okay, so there's not much coming in and there's not much going out in that sense.
There's not much going out. That's correct. I don't want to say there's not much coming in, because then it's like, oh, you're a failure.
Well, no, I'm not. Listen, it's not that. We're just looking at the facts.
No, I know. I'm
what's
just
going
saying
on.
for me.
It's not about failure. There's not always. I'm not trying to say that you're a failure right now. We're just trying to get to the truth of what is, this platform ultimately about, and also, the associations with David and how. I don't know if you still understand how negatively that's impacting whatever it is you're trying to do.
Trust me. Trust me. I know how negative it is, because here's the thing. Yeah, I've spent the last 13 years dealing with psychiatric patients and dealing with psychology and stuff like that. But I also understand how people are in nature. And I told TDN this, and he will tell you, it doesn't matter what I say on this podcast. It doesn't matter what I say in Telegram. It doesn't matter what I say in an email or anything else. People are going to believe what they want to believe. And and a lot of people are so close-minded that unless I come on here and I say David's a scammer and David's a piece of shit, and he's gonna.
Whoa, CCB, wait. Hold on 1 second, bro. No, I just need to come to that point. Even today, then one second, CCB, just to cover 1 point. So even right now, you don't believe that David has scammed anybody?
No, I'm saying that unless I said that.
No, but it's a simple question. You can have a yes or no answer if you like.
Do I think he's a scammer?
Has he scammed anybody? Is he a scammer?
It's a $1 million question.
To tell you the truth, I think there's a lot of fucked up shit that happened. Do I think that he fucking like scammed and left the country? No. But I think there's a lot of fucked up shit that's happened. Yeah.
Do you think that technically it's not a scam until you 404?
Oh my God.
I had to ask the question at that point, CCB.
No. I'm just, I get a couple of my buddies, whoever made that meme of me when I said that, you know, kind of like the whole meme of Trayvon when he said it was Dick Connect.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, I'll have buddies send me that meme. So that's when you said that. That's the first thing popped in my head. That's why I kind of laughed.
It's one thing now to try and sit here and say, and it's not about just trying to berate David or have a go at Arb, but you got to call it for what it is, CCB. If you want any kind of credibility, there's a whole load of people that can see blatantly the scam that happened in Arb. And if you're being somebody so close, firstly, and then secondly, being somebody in a position that you're in right now in your own platform, if you can't tell, and if you can't stand there hand on heart and say, you know what, yeah, that was fucked up, the guy scammed everybody, then it does play on your credibility.
See, I tend to disagree with that.
Okay.
Because, and let me explain to you why.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Okay. I've stated there's been some fucked up shit going on. Has been for months. Right?
Right.
I think, and you guys got to understand, when I spoke with David and I hung out with David so much, it became more than just art. You know,
that's what happens when you get groomed, CCB.
I got to know his, I got to know his family. I got to know his children. I got to know all this other stuff. But what does that mean now, CCB? To all the people that are being scammed, all the people that have lost money, all the people that can't get their funds back from ARB, Apex, Mbot, anything they paid for, what does that mean to them? It means nothing to them.
The fact that you've been groomed, you've been down there, you've spent time, this guy was a lovely guy, I can't imagine him ever to be a scammer, that's great for you personally. But what about all your subscribers? What about all the people that acted upon, you know, whether it be an investment, whether it be them making another YouTube video, whether it be in them coming to slate another program on David Say So. You had an active role in that whole project, in that whole scam. Whether you want to see that as something that you did of your own free will.
How did I have a role in that?
Because CCB, you had videos made. You were there making live streams. You were there part and parcel visiting David's house, telling people that he's a trustworthy guy. That was your part in the whole operation.
Okay, and I can understand that. But that's my opinion. And that doesn't mean that I was right there in beside him going, hey man, let's go do this. That doesn't mean that I was involved in that. But just because I've met with the guy, you know.
So are you trying to tell me that
doesn't mean that I knew all the juicy details of everything that was going on.
That's not what I said though, is it, CCB? I just said you played your part in the whole thing. From whatever you did with regards to ARB, promoting ARB, getting people in, doing all the live streams, making people believe that they should trust David Peterson. I've personally watched you do that, bro. You can't deny it to me. You can tell people, you know.
Personally, if you go back, I remember also, because I got in a lot of trouble for this. I remember 2 or 3 videos, and I'm standing in his driveway, jumping on people. These quote unquote, because that's what we thought was happening, was these whales that were fucking up the price. What about the times that I did talk shit about it? Does that count for anything?
That was, CCB, when you were talking shit about the undercutters. When you were really talking shit, you were still doing it on David's behalf.
Okay.
I mean, you were there right up in December, bro, handing him the car, giving him the ARB stang.
Yes.
It's like, and then it's like from that point, from December onwards, that's when nobody got paid. After he got his ARB stang, he must have got in and drove off. because that was it, bro. Nobody else got paid after that. Block exchange came. It was all fucked up.
I made a video saying that here's what I've been working on for the last several months. This is what I'm going to concentrate on.
Yeah, you made a video, tried not to call David out and told everybody, listen, I'm going on to move on to Coin Lotto. It's my own thing, blah, 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 blah. Then it comes out that the whole thing was really set up with David Peterson's money and David Peterson's influence and his team and his dev team.
Okay.
And then it's like you want to sit here now and say, "Oh no, I'm not associated with him."
No.
It doesn't make sense, bro.
I'm not sitting here now trying to do this. Did David help me purchase the machine? Yes.
I just need to say something as well. Sorry to interrupt you, Robert. I muted you because TDN. I muted you because of the dog barking in the background. You can unmute yourself if you click on the little arrow. You can unmute yourself. I only muted you because of the dog earlier. I mean,
when I realized that I shut off my mic when I realized that she was in the background barking. That's my fault. I got sick puppies, man.
Nice. Well, I wanted to ask as well, though, a couple of questions to you, just because I know you're not.
Can I finish? Answering that question?
Sure, CCB, please.
Okay. Did he help me with the machines? Yes. Did he help me with a dev team? Yes. Okay. Now.
What did you do then, CCB?
Website. Do what?
Which bit did you do?
What bit did I do?
Yeah.
I've invested a lot of my own money, and I'm the one that has taken all the legal recourse on this.
Okay. So, like I'm saying, this is the thing. See, I mean, I don't know if you know this, CCB, yeah, but it looks like, from any kind of outside perspective, that you've been groomed and set up as the fall guy for Coin Lotto. And it's like everybody can see it except for you. Do you know what I mean? And you're still sitting there fighting in the corner protesting that, no, this is my business. I know what I'm doing here. This is all about me. It's got my name on the paperwork. Yeah, but that's so that when it all hits the fan, CCB, you're the one that goes down and not the powers that be.
And I can understand where you're coming from. And I get that. Completely understand where you're coming from. Okay? Now, first of all, the machines that were purchased from the most credible company that you can buy lottery machines from. Smart Play International out of New Jersey. They are the same company that builds and verifies all the machines for Mega Millions, much less 70 other countries in the world. Okay? So the machines are legit. They're not rigged. They're not homemade. They're not cardboard boxes with fucking paint on them.
Okay.
Two, all the legal paperwork, the company paperwork, everything in DR, in Costa Rica, in Curacao, in Turks and Caicos, and in Malta, all have my name on it, my legal name on it, and everything like that. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm taking the license and the contract has my personal name on it. You guys know my name. I didn't hide my name.
I know, yeah.
You know? All right? The only thing that that David did was he helped me buy the machines and he helped me with a dev team. Because you know that...
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Are you going to deny all the motivational quotes and talks and speeches that went on that you spoke about, CCB? Telling me how David is giving me inspiration to do this. He's been the one driving me, telling me that, you know, giving me that notion in my mind that I can do this.
For those of you that had listened to David when he was making those videos and different
I'm not talking
like
about videos, CCB. I'm not talking about David's video. I'm talking about your videos directly, what you said in your videos about how David had groomed you. Well, if you answer the question and stay on topic.
I am staying on topic.
Okay. Are you going to ignore that then?
David is one of those kind of guys. He's always talking about positive energy, and he's talking about doing this and setting your mind, and you can do this and you can do that.
Grooming
So,
you, yes, grooming you.
What,
and now, CCB, it's like I'm just trying to say, where does the bit come?
No,
Where does the bit come?
Fucking minute.
Don't
No,
listen.
You're not gonna sit here and tell.
I don't know why you've elevated your demeanor at the minute, CCB. We're just having a nice conversation. I'll give you a second to calm yourself down, and maybe you'd like to come back and answer the question respectfully.
You're turning this around on me, and it's bullcrap.
How am I turning? Go on, Saint. You try.
CCB, first of all, just relax, bro. It's just questions that you don't.
No,
I know you're. Hold on.
Sonny used to be
CCB,
cool,
hold
man,
on.
and he's gonna fucking do me like this.
CCB,
That's
relax.
why I didn't want to do this, bro.
CCB, relax. First of all, relax. They're questions. Here's the thing. I know you don't like those questions. Maybe you don't agree with those questions. There's nothing to be done here. Like, he's not doing anything. He's being fair to everyone here, right? Even you, by giving you this entire platform to speak on all this, because this is really unnecessary in the grand scheme of things. But you asked.
I didn't ask to be on here. I was asked to be on here.
Give me a minute, CCB. Give me a minute.
Sir.
Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. You guys asked to come and speak about it. No doubt about it. We spoke about it. We heard that Batman did whatever he did and blah, blah, blah. It really, that situation is skewed. But back to Coin Lotto. So here's the thing. He's asking you the questions that everyone else is going to ask you, the perceptions that everyone else has. It's best to just work through it, bro. Like, don't get upset.
And I'm trying to answer the question, and he's cutting me off saying, you're being groomed. You're being groomed. Without allowing me to answer the question. If I completely get off topic, then yeah, interrupt me. But I was trying to show that in the video where I talk about how, he's inspired me to do this, and he's done this, and he's done that. And the point I was trying to make is, David always talked about trying to have positive energy, and he lives off energy, and he does this and he does that. And I know a lot of spiritual people that do that. In martial arts, it's all about spirit and energy.
Okay.
So yes,
I get it.
Having that aspect, saying, hey, you know what? You can will yourself to be better. You can will yourself to do this. That was what I meant by that.
No doubt.
And I apologize for yelling.
Yeah, I think just for the sake of like everyone in the chat, in the stream, let's just be calm. I understand this sometimes it's upsetting. Maybe you feel like you're being aggressed a little bit, but just get through it, because like I think it's going to be beneficial to you to just be able to talk it out for everybody present, and let everybody get the real deal instead of speculating and feeling like you're gonna like just step away from it all when you now you have the floor. This is your moment to clear whatever up, explain whatever, and get through it without really leaving anything on the table, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
So
Sonny, I apologize.
And I mean, just being honest, it's also in the way that he's asking the question. Saint, if you've listened, I've not said a thing. I've been here on mute most of the time. He's asking the same questions in repetition, and he's just changing a couple words, like he's trying to get CCB to admit that he was at fault for it.
No, I haven't done that. Sorry, Robert, I haven't. And CCB, I accept that, but I haven't done that at all. I have, like Saint said, okay, I'm trying to paint a picture of what I believe to be the case, and then I would obviously give CCB the opportunity to explain to me look, Sonny, if that's what you're thinking, I get it now. I can see your whole reasoning for why you have these questions and why you are thinking the things that you are thinking. And you know what? This is my answer to that.
And I totally get that. But when you ask the same question in repetition and just change
which question did I? Which question is it? What is the actual question that you believe I've asked in repetition that's offended CCB so much?
You've asked him 15 times if David is still has any kind of control or is in association with Coin Lotto at this point, and he has told you multiple times no. But
What about
keep
you?
coming
What
back
about
to-
you, TDN? What was your role in ARB? I wanted to ask you these questions as well.
My role in ARB, I was just like CCB. I got introduced to ARB by Austin back when it was still an ICO. I had doubts that it was a legitimate trading platform because of the fact that I was in BitConnect and I was one of the people who got quote unquote liquidated or lost their funds, and I lost about 40 grand in BitConnect.
So you've never been an admin in ARB. You've never had any kind of more rights than a standard user.
Hold on, and I'm getting ready to go there. In October of last year, right before they went to CryptoCon, I was contacted by David directly, telling me that he needed somebody who had experience in IT to come and help fix the support program and help try to legitimize what their support was doing because they were having issues and weren't getting issues solved. I agreed to come work for him. I was an admin for approximately 1 month before my access was revoked to the program because the other admins who were paid previously for being admins and who I found out later on were part of the original XRPC program and had helped with that scam, but were now working in this and getting paid. That's when I started asking questions and trying to fix things that all of my access got revoked. And here's another thing is there was a big quote unquote leak of wallet addresses that came out literally days after my access was revoked. The only people that had access to my account at that point was David, Nigel, and the developer team. Well, if you talk to any of the developers, they don't speak a lick of English. I mean, when you talk, if you had ever tried to talk to Majaz, you might as well forget about it. Even using a translator wouldn't work. Nigel was what I come to find out was one of the original guys that helped Christoph and them with the XRPC scam. He was one of the main people that had my account revoked.
Can I interrupt for just a moment? I was, speaking on him saying he spoke to Majaz. I don't know if you were speaking to the real Majaz, but I spoke with Majaz. Well, I didn't speak to him through voice, but I did have his Facebook profile, and we spoke through Messenger. And he spoke pretty good English. Maybe he was using translator or something. I don't know.
He can type great English, but he has a very, very heavy accent. It's very hard to understand him if you talk to him on voice.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
And that may have been the issue because I was quote unquote supposed to be helping with support. I would actually attempt to make calls to him. I didn't know that everybody was sending him text messages through Telegram and whatnot. So, when I spoke to him, it was hard to understand. And I've worked for several Indian companies and Pakistani companies, and I've never had as much issues as I did with Majaz. So I don't know how, that's neither here nor there. But it wasn't until after I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, asking questions, that I actually quit at the end of January. And I've got the Telegram stuff where I told David, I said, I can't work for you. One, you're lying to me. You're not being honest. You're not being straightforward. He wasn't paying me. I literally had to tell him, look, dude, I've been doing all this work for you and you're not paying me like you said you would, like the agreement was. And that's when I started digging, was when I found that there was no ABOT. And that's when I started leaking all the information about how there is no ABOT. The trades that they're showing are just back and forth trades that were going on Binance. Everybody was like, well, how did you get paid? I got paid directly using Bitcoin from that Binance account. Every time I started asking questions about programs that had questionable things going on, I got shut down. Now, that whole time, I was telling people, look, there's something not right. It's a scam. There's something not right. You're going to lose money. But I will tell you this. in the multiple times that I've talked to David, even after I quit working for him, he called me and was trying to get me to get Blake into chats to where he could try to get information to blackmail other members of the community. And I told him no. I said, look, they're going to see through it. As quick as you try to put somebody in there like that, they're going to see that you got what you guys are doing. I can't do that. And Blake was like, well, I'm not going to do it if you're not going to pay me to do it. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing it because, one, I don't care. I know it's a scam, and I've already reported it as a scam.
So Blake was trying to get you to do that through the hands of David, basically, or through the call of David.
Him and David contacted me and was trying to get me to get information to dox you guys.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do it.
Okay. So would you call David a scammer?
Would I call David a scammer? In my eyes, 100%. I don't care if the platform is 404 or not. You know, he locked people's accounts in there and claimed that they were scamming, but I had chats. I can't say I have them now. I had chats that have been since deleted, admitting that, you know, the pumps and stuff was him and his team, that they were faking the pumps.
So just to show you, Robert, I mean, do you understand then why it's difficult to kind of believe and understand what CCB is saying when he still struggles to tell the truth on that?
Well, and here's why. You know, I've got 17 years IT experience. You know, I may not be a developer at the level to be able to write code like you do, okay? But I've taken enough coding classes to know bullshit when I see it. CCB, on the other hand, will tell you when it comes to looking at that shit, you might as well be giving him a Greek handbook and telling him he's got to figure it out on his own, because you can tell him whatever it is. He doesn't know that shit. So when David was telling them, here's the trading bot, here's the trades, it's not actually, he doesn't know exactly what it is that he was seeing, because he wouldn't know what to look for. So automatically assuming that he was lying just because he didn't know what, scripting is for a trade bot, that's not his fault. Could he have educated himself better? Yes. But at the same time, we were all still new to crypto at that time. I
asked him that question today,
Robert.
I asked him that question today. Is David a scammer? And he stuttered and stumbled and still tried to play it as off as if, no, David's a good guy. He's my mate. I spoke to him. I met his family. It doesn't help.
Well, you would be the same if you had a lot of money locked up in a platform and they did 404 and you have hopes of getting it back.
No. That has been the fundamental problem with ARB and all these people that have been stuck sitting there telling lies just because they've got their money stuck in a scam. It doesn't help the situation, does it?
But here's the thing. You claim that your project is Gandhiji. You're always wait. Why not just answer what I asked though?
Why not answer the? I haven't asked it 15 times. It's the first time I asked that question. Why not answer that?
I'm answering it, but I'm posing an ideal that you supposedly represent with your project.
Okay, what's the ideal?
Okay, Gandhi is all about positivity and having hope. Correct.
It's one of the aspects. Yeah. He's also a big believer in truth, though, isn't he? Wouldn't you say he's a believer in truth? Well, he's, the many quotes that he has about truth would overweigh just having a belief in something. And having a positive attitude about it.
But here's the part where you're trying to hang him up is
where
he does not understand code, and you're asking him
listen, there were thousands of people out there right now. There are thousands of people out there right now calling ARB a scam, can prove that ARB's a scam without reading any code. Okay. ARB have produced no code for you to check.
But that's the thing is everybody says,
it's not like, oh, look, wait, no,
here's scam, give me proof.
It's not like Dave said, here's the code for the A-bot, and you guys have checked it. There is no code to check.
And at that point, it's all down to, all right, have you lost hope of ever getting anything out of whatever their project, whatever it is, you know. I still
So,
have, you know,
I just fail to understand, Robert. I just fail to understand. I'm going to be quiet after this. I fail to understand, Robert, that
Can
on
I
one
say
hand,
something real quick, please?
you can right after me. I fail to understand, Robert, how on one hand you can tell me that, oh, it's a scam, and on the second hand, let your associate here carry on and believe and have hope, and, you know, it's okay, let him have a belief. It doesn't fit right with me, but continue on.
Let me say this.
I can call it a...
Can I? Do I need to wait?
No, go ahead. I'll mute myself.
Okay. I don't know about y'all. Maybe it's just me. But I've had people in my life burn me. But I've always been told to turn the other cheek and give this person a chance. But when you give this person a chance, you're a lot more reluctant than you were at first. Okay? So the reason why I'm not flat out coming, and you can say that this is bullshit or whatever, but anybody that knows me personally knows that this is how I am. My belief is, do I think a lot of fucked up shit happened? Yes. Do I believe that there's a lot of shit that needs to be fixed or needs to be said? Yes. But at the same time, the way that I was grown up and the type of person that I am not going to sit here and, and say, I'm not going to give you a second chance. That doesn't mean that I have to trust you fully. But I believe somewhere in my brain, in my heart, that he's going to make things right. Now, if I'm wrong for hoping that that's what's going to happen, not for my case. I lied. I don't give a fuck. But there are people that didn't. And I want to believe that people are going to get paid out at least the minimum of what they put in. I don't give a fuck about profits at this point, but I believe that you should get every dime that you at least put in.
So, CCB, did you know about the blackmailing and things that David Peterson has done?
No.
So you do know about it here today because Robert just told you?
Yes.
So how does that make you feel about David Peterson now?
That is very bad.
I like the honesty in there.
That's very bad. But at the same time, I can sit here, like, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Okay. When there were some issues with me and another YouTuber. Okay. Not going to say his name because apparently, in some ways he's kind of turned a new leaf. Okay. At least he's being honest about shit now. But there was at one time where I'm a big stickler for taking up for women. Okay. You're not going to disrespect a female around me. You'll get punched in the face. That's just how I am. That maybe it's just because I'm Southern. I don't know. Okay. But there was one person that I literally, because my wife has, before we got married and we got into the healthcare business, my wife has a background in law enforcement, and not by no means of breaking the law, but there's everything's public record. But I tracked this guy down, and I was going to confront this guy because he's disrespecting a woman, and that's just, I'm one of those types of people that when I have a belief, I go full forward with it. Just like I have a belief that some way, shape, or form, everybody's going to at least get their money back. That's what I want to believe.
CCB.
Yo.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm disappointed you had to use that as an example.
I just want to say, I need to ask one other question as well. CCB, what happens to the machines?
And I understand that.
What happens
And
if
I
David
understand-
falls out with you now and comes and grabs the machines? Is that possible?
He'd have to get past 2 German Shepherds and a 40 cal.
Yeah, well, you know, I've heard things. He's got a side gun. PJ3 might be there with him, but ultimately,
What?
is there any? Have you got any legal protection that's saying that he can't do that? Call good on his loan at any moment. I'm just trying to understand CCB. What's the
only
real
thing
reason
that
for you
the only
having this
thing
much
that I have-
defense? Because you know I don't believe that what you just said a minute ago. And I'm, you know, for you, I'm happy you got ROI. I don't think it makes all the people out there that didn't get ROI feel any better. But for you,
Well, no,
okay, you know, you did. And the thing is, you're not willing to accept.
With any platform,
I need to-
as long as I get my ROI back, I'm good. Anything extra is just icing on the cake.
Okay, I need to
That's
just
how
go
I
back
look
and
at
ask a question that
Okay,
sincerely me asked.
so is there anything protecting me? I have a contract with Jeremy Roundsville, right? That says that he would be paid back in full with no interest in less than 2 years for the machines, and I have the invoice on file.
Okay, how much was that invoice for?
100,000.
And I'm assuming you haven't paid any of that back yet.
No, sir.
It's been how long now?
It went in effect when we went live, so almost 6 months.
Okay.
I have 2 years. I got a year and a half left.
Okay. But it's okay. I think so far you've paid out less than $500 altogether on the platform.
Roundabout, yes.
Good luck with that, bro.
Yeah, I can understand that one.
No,
Which is why we're working so heavily on moving them to different markets, because, and I'll tell you this from the get-go, the U.S. is not our market.
CCB, there was a kind of, you could buy tokens though. There was an ICO, not an ICO, I don't want to use that word, but there was a time where I'm pretty sure that Pace Car Mike bought some tokens.
There is an exchange, yes, to purchase tokens, yes.
No, but there was a time. So where's the money going from those the token purchases?
If they use the exchange to whoever sold them the tokens.
Initially, when the tokens were created, who sold them first of all? There was a pre-sale.
No, there was. So the investors, the private investors that I had, they received tokens. All right. So when the exchange went open,
hold on.
then,
So the private is Mike a private investor? I'm just trying to work it out from Pace Car Mike's point of view.
Okay.
Is Mike a private investor? Is he in that group of private investors?
No.
No. Okay, so private investors got tokens for USD up or ETH or whatever you charged them at the time.
Correct.
And that was your seed capital work, right?
Correct.
How much did you raise?
Do what?
How much did you raise?
Not really going to go into that.
You're not going to go into... But I thought it was all about being transparent.
Well, I'm not going to leak who my private investors are. There's no sense in putting out how much was raised.
I thought this was a registered company. Would I be able to go and find... Is that money in the bank? Is it all registered correctly?
Yes.
So then why don't you just tell me? Why are you going to make me go and do the work to find it out?
Because it hasn't been a physical year.
Was it enough? Okay, was it enough to cover the machines at least? I just want to know.
Oh yes.
You said that quite like as if it was way more than that.
It was more. It was more than that.
More than 10 times more?
I've spent, and I'll just be straight up. I've spent.
That'd be nice.
Close to 200,000 just on legal fees.
Okay. And that's from your own personal income?
No.
Oh, from the seed funds.
I personally put between 50 and 75 of my personal income in.
How much, sorry?
I personally put between 50 and 75 of my personal income
Okay,
in.
okay. That's why it's hard for you to give up on the idea now.
Yep.
That's honest. That's crazy. That's a big personal investment.
Does the seed capital raised, is that enough to cover the win?
That is separate.
Or is that's a separate agreement that you've got to cover a win if it happens?
Correct.
Okay. I'm not trying to have a go at you, CCB. I'm just trying to understand it. You know, I hope you don't.
These questions are fine. I'm fine with that.
I'm trying to just paint a picture of what's going on. You know, I do believe, you know, from the start, and I'm not trying to say the same thing. I was looking for that message because I think Cecile and me, she put it perfectly. Maybe I'm coming across wrong. People, I've been told that sometimes I can be a little passive aggressive. If people think that, they should see me when I feel full on aggressive. Right. I knew, Cecile and me says, I knew it was a con. I'm not very good with code, but I can spot deceit and lies, which Arb was full of. That was one thing I wanted to come out with. But she asked a question as well. Let me just see if I can find it here. Okay, so CCB, this is the one. CCB disagrees he's been groomed, but would he say he's been misled or manipulated in any way by DP when he was involved with ARB or Coin Lotto?
Good question.
That's why I said maybe she's more eloquent than I am sometimes. I am having a beer tonight as well. It is Drunk on Crypto.
I think when it deals with ARB, I think that maybe there was some false truths there.
Lies, then, basically, is the short way of saying false truths.
Yeah.
But you don't believe that to be the case with Coin Lotto, is it?
Well, the reason why I don't believe it to be Coin Lotto is because I'm asshole deep in it. Everything that happens comes through, you know, me or the CEO.
Who's the CEO now?
His name is George.
Okay. We don't know George?
CCB, who's doing the website and things, and who's doing the updating on the website and everything for you now? Is it still the same team?
Now, no, we are not using the same team.
Okay.
We were using, as I stated earlier, when we first got started, the original user face was built by a company out of Chicago, and then Majaz built the back end. And, you know, that was evident when, like a dumbass,
I caught you that day, bro.
You know, yeah, that day was pretty sucky. But you know, I was trying to make my video because I had gotten pissed off and privated all my videos. So I tried to unprivate my videos. Well, I didn't know it would do all of them. So because I had to make videos, because when I would try to explain that this was wrong or that was wrong or this idea or that idea in words, he didn't understand.
All right. So just to try and put a finer point on it from my point of view, yeah, and I want you to understand this quite clearly. ARB was this is from my point of view. ARB was a scam. David is a deceitful, manipulative scammer. He's lured a lot of people in, wasted a lot of people's money and time, done a lot of nefarious things that even Robert will agree to. He even, you know, himself there will be evident. Batman, along with a lot of other people, were associated. Robert said that he was associated with ARB the same way that you were associated, but then he went on to say that he was an admin. So I'm still unclear on what he meant by that. But cut a finer point, everybody played their part, CCB, in that. And it's like now, David played a major role in the beginning phases of this project, Coin Lotto. It's very difficult for me to see now, especially when he's still owed so much money, you know, for the machines. It's very difficult for me to understand that, or for me to believe, say, that you know, that association is now dead and there's nothing there. He doesn't have any say-so when it comes to Coin Lotto.
Let me ask you this, okay? Honestly, okay? He is owed $100,000, right? So I have to look at him legally as, and I hate to use this word because I know it's going to be turned around on me, as an investor.
Okay.
Okay. I have to legally look at him like that. Okay. Now, if you've got people, and I'm talking business, if you've got people that you owe money to, or you have agreements with to give you money, are you not, you don't have to necessarily go and eat breakfast with them, but on occasion, would you not talk to them to let them know what's going on?
That's not the issue, CCB. The problem is now, again, I'm looking for the right words. The issue is, CCB, because of that association. Let's say you made association with somebody, and let's say at the time you believed 100% that this was a straight up person, human being that you're dealing with. Yeah. Now, later on, you've come to find out that this person that's highly involved with my current business is actually a scammer. And I get it. You don't want to go out publicly to rock the boat because of the association, because of the, like you say, he's a $100,000 investor technically in Coin Lotto. Yeah. I understand that you don't want to say these things about him, but you know, I don't blame you, CCB, as well. This is another thing. I don't know why you were getting shirty with me. Don't blame you. I understand the situation. It's not that I have anything against you or anything like that, but it's a shitty situation caused by David, caused ultimately by, and please take this the right way, by a little bit of ignorance on your side when it comes to discerning the truth about, you know, what these players are like, what David was like, and what the whole thing really was. Even when you had people like CryptoSaint, like myself, for so long sending up the red flag signals, it was all ignored because you'd been to David's house and seen his family. That's why I use that G word, groomed, because technically it's kind of like what happened. And it's now we're sitting on we're at the cusp of the end of one, and you're fighting to keep Coin Lotto alive, even though it's dredged in association with something that has already come to light that is nefarious, is a scam in the space.
Okay.
It's okay. It's all okay.
I'm saying okay. I understand your standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you that I understand where you're coming from and where you have your opinions.
Right.
You know, someone mentioned to me, I think earlier today, well, why don't you just change the name? Well, shit, if it was that easy, shit, I would have done that shit 6 months ago.
That's not going to take away the fact that, you know, there's still David Peterson there as an investor for the next 18 months at least, or until that's paid off. What does happen, CCB, what does happen at the end of the 2 years if you don't pay him back?
I have to return the machines.
Which would ultimately be the end of Coin Lotto.
If I was not to make the money, yes.
All right. Can you just, I just got one last point about Coin Lotto. Have you generated more income than the $500 that you've paid out?
Really don't want to get into that. I will say this.
Are you paying from your pocket at the minute, CCB? Well. You're paying from your pocket, bro. It's all, listen, you know, if you are, then it just shows what a stand-up guy you are in that sense. You know, it's not demeaning or derogatory at all.
The $200 winners I paid out of my pocket. Anything less than $100, you get credits.
Okay.
Starting to feel bad for you, CCP.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't
I'm not
know.
even trying to have a go, bro. It just doesn't look too great in that sense. And I'm not trying to rib on Coin Lotto. I mean, there's two separate issues here, CCP. The first issue being the association and the debt, obviously, to David. I mean, granted, there is supposedly some seed fund that could resolve that, but obviously, what's the point in doing that if I mean, with all the promotion, it's been 6 months.
What promotion?
Well, you had your name up in NASCAR. You had a name up on a NASCAR. You spent 30,000 in that promotion.
Dude,
there.
that didn't bring maybe 100 people.
Then CCB, I'd have to question, what are you doing, bro? Why are you spending 30 grand on that if it didn't bring any people? And then you're paying 200 from your pocket.
Shit, I thought that we'd be flooded. I mean, come on, I'm from NASCAR country.
So why did you have to pay the 200?
North Carolina.
Why couldn't you pay the winnings from the seed funds at least? Why was that from your pocket?
Because I'm not gonna take the seed funds.
Yeah.
There is no seed funds. It's all gone.
Oh, okay. So whatever was raised from the private investors, that's already exhausted.
Correct.
Okay, I understand now. Now I understand at least why you was paying it from your pocket. So, there's, I don't even want to say it's ECB. Like I say, we used to be really. There's no budget to do anything now, is there?
That's why there's been no. That's why there's been no marketing. When we finally got ready to go, and we launched Moonball, we had all these quote unquote influencers, these YouTubers, these Twitter people, everything like that. Things didn't work out. They lost faith because it took so long to get the project out. And then, you turn around and you tell them, look, if you live here in the U.S., to protect yourself, even though you're an independent contractor, to protect yourself, if you live in the U.S., don't promote the Moonball. Just promote the free lotto. Well, how are we supposed to get commissions if we don't do the Moonball? And I'm like, when people come to the site, if they choose to play, that's on them. That's not on you. But there are no legalities that I have found or my attorney has found. Which, by the way, let's address the attorney real quick. I don't know where Batman's saying it's in Australia. It's in Texas. Hell, you can ask Captain Obvious because he contacted them.
All right, shout out Captain Obvious.
When we first launched and we first put them on the website, he sent them an email. To make sure that they were legit. And that's where it came out that they specialize in family law.
Randy had a question from the live chat. He wanted to know if David had any kind of, or was David paid any kind of consulting fees, or have any fees been paid to David?
No. When David was helping me at the beginning, everything was running well. ARB was running well. We all had A-bots. We were all cashing out every day. Everything was going good. A lot of people forget that I own healthcare businesses in North Carolina, so I have outside income. And so there was nothing had to be paid at that moment. It was like, okay, man, I'm gonna help you out.
What about PJ3, bro? I remember he was like associated as a network marketer. Is he still part of the team?
No, none of the original people are associated with it anymore at this moment.
Except for you and David.
Except for me.
And the investors.
Well, yeah.
Majazzy's out though, yeah?
Correct.
That's racist, man. I'm playing. Kick out the brown guy. All right, Provo's got a question. Is this pissing contest done yet?
No.
No.
I've still been drinking enough tea, and Sonny's drinking beer, so we're gonna be here for a minute.
Yeah, I'm all right, bro. I'm here for that. Do you know what? On that note, MJ, grab me a beer, please.
No, I just want, and I understand, no, whether I like it or I don't, I understand where people could say, you know what, you were at his house, you did videos, you know, this. Okay?
You practically live in there, bro, at one point. I think you were sleeping in his garage by all the videos you used to make.
No. When I flew down here, I stayed at a hotel down the street from him at the Holiday Inn.
Okay, nice.
You know? So, you know, we would catch an Uber either in the mornings or at night. So that's when he was really doing those 3 and 4 day staying up things. Right?
Yeah.
Vendors, if you want to call them that, or whatever you want to call them, you know. And so we would go over there and, you know, hang out, talk. You know, he would be working on ARB, and we would either be, when PJ was there, he would be trading. When Well was there, Will would be working on his computer. I mean, I don't know if you could really tell from the old videos, but there was like a bunch of desks that was behind him, right there where that mirror was.
All right, shout out MJ. Hit the like and subscribe for him, guys.
So CCB, bro, let me ask, man. What was the point of showing the graphic of Batman extorting David? You know, initially it looked like Batman was trying to extort you, but did David instruct him to ask you for that money? Or
No.
did he hold on. Did he even ask you at all? Or I mean, I'm not saying he's denying it. I'm saying, hold on, let me put it this way. Is that screenshot the screenshot that David sent you of their conversation?
Yep.
There you go. Now, initially it appeared as if Batman was trying to extort you, and I'm just of the opinion that it looked as if that's what the point of showing it was. Like, let me show you Batman's trying to extort.
if you look at it, it actually says forwarded from David Peterson.
Well, yeah, you can't really see that. You can only see the entire conversation.
Oh, okay.
In the thumbnail, it doesn't say forwarded. It just shows the, I think you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the screenshot of David's own conversation, not the
that was put in DMZ.
Yeah, not the forwarded one. I'm talking about the one of someone's cell phone with Telegram on it, showing that Batman was asking for whatever, and that was put forward as if that was one of, Batman was speaking to one of you, whether it be TDN or whether it be
The only screenshot that was put out that I'm aware of was the one that TDN posted earlier.
Yeah, that's
today.
it.
And if I remember correctly, at the top of it, it says forwarded from.
No, you already answered the question that entire screenshot was what David sent you. So yeah, the screenshot was forwarded, but not the messages. The messages are direct between David and Batman, right?
Yeah, I'm just talking about the screenshot.
Yeah, I'm talking about
Batman.
I'm talking about the same screenshot too. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know why this is confusing suddenly.
I'm sorry.
I'm asking about we're not talking about two different screenshots, right?
No, Saint, on the thumbnail, I didn't have the bit where it said forwarded from David Peterson. but in the actual image that I saw, it did say forwarded from David Peterson at the top.
Yeah, the actual
conversation. But you're right. The actual conversation, I believe, was between
the image.
Batman
Yeah,
and David Peterson.
and
Yes,
Dave.
that's what I was told, because when I confronted him,
Okay, hold on, stop,
go ahead.
because you're getting me off. I'm trying to ask
I'm
a real
sorry.
question. Because when that screenshot was posted, it was made to look like Batman might have been talking to either you or TDN,
Okay.
but he was actually talking to David. It didn't really come out that the only way y'all got that was from David until, like, in other words, it was being put out there that Batman was trying to extort CCB.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, that was the context of the conversation going on in DMZ. Now there could have been some confusion here, but at the time,
if the whole thing
didn't
that you wanted to put out there was that Batman has extorted David, that's we already know that, bro. That's late. He came out and admitted that himself.
No, what I was trying to prove, right, was that the reason why he is attacking me, and the only reason why he is attacking me, is because I wouldn't give the money that he was asking David to ask me for.
What I'm curious is what do you mean by attacking you? How did he attack you?
So he's been on stream talking about Coin Lotto, and he has made numerous posts on Twitter calling us a scam and reporting us and tagging the SEC, the FBI, and Interpol, I think it is.
CCCB. Listen though, you've seen for the past 18 months how much of that shit have I been through.
Well,
yeah. But hold on, CCB. But don't you think that Batman's doing that because of the obvious and apparent, like on its face, association of Coin Lotto to ARB? That's the problem here, right? Because Batman, and like probably 95% of the public, thinks that there's an association there, whether it is factual or not. I mean, we can see that it's there. You explained it well enough. That's probably why he was tagging.
I think it's personal. When he's tagging these posts, after he tags those people and he goes, "Hey Daniel," in the Twitter post calling me out like that, it's personal.
Yeah. So what did you do to him that makes him wanna be at you like that?
That's what I don't understand. When he contacted me and said, "I heard that you're broke," and I go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Okay. And he says, "David says that you're broke and you're getting evicted." And I'm like, "Why the fuck are y'all talking about me?" And I asked that question like 4 times.
Did David answer you?
No, this is Batman. No,
when you called David.
Yes.
Did he answer that question to you too? When you asked, because I heard you say earlier, you asked David, "Why are y'all talking about me?" Did he answer you?
His comment to me is he asked me to ask you for money, so I told him you were broke too.
Okay.
And I said, "I need that screenshot. I need to prove."
Yeah,
it took about 2 weeks to get it.
Batman said in his stream today that that David actually gave him the money. Was it you or David? It's David, right?
I guess I haven't given any money. I don't even have a fucking Bitcoin. I wish I did.
What I'm trying to like kind of figure out here, and maybe you obviously may not know, but it strikes me as odd is why David would give him any money at all.
I don't know, but I haven't asked. But the last that when I spoke with David to find out why him and Batman was talking about me, he told me that Batman's been trying to get a Bitcoin out of him for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he kept telling him, "No, I don't have it."
But no, hold on. You know what's really strange about that is he's saying he doesn't have it, as opposed to, "What the fuck are you asking me money for?" why are you asking me for money? He's saying, oh, I don't have it. Like he owes him something, or at least implied that he may owe him something. Batman wouldn't be so up in arms about free
I don't
money.
know.
Hold on, is it extortion? There's expectation there. If the answer to someone, you ask me for a Bitcoin and watch what happens if I don't owe you shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Now, I
if
remember a situation about 3 or 4 months ago, and I think he may have actually talked about this on one of his streams,
what?
where his girlfriend or something, there was a stranger that came into his building, and they got into a confrontation, and he had like this rubber gun or something like that, and he chased the guy away, right?
Huh?
I know at that time, he got in trouble with the law because of that. I guess I don't know the laws in Israel, right?
Yeah.
And he needed money for an attorney. And I know at
Somehow,
that time, do what?
you think David promised him the money?
I don't know. But I know that because he did say something to me about needing money, and that he was going to ask David for the money to help him with an attorney. Now, I don't know if that's something that happened or what, other than that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just weirded out by the fact that like the immediate response to someone asking someone for money is that, like, for example, if this was all about 2 weeks old, why is it all coming up today or within the last 2 days, maybe 3 days? You know what I'm saying? That like this needs to be discussed all out in the open now.
Well, he's been tagging me in Twitter posts for about a week, maybe a little bit more.
I know, we heard that, but what I'm saying is, at what point? Why is his expectation so high for something that nobody really owes him? And like, there's a piece of this puzzle missing. Now, I'm sure Batman's going to speak up, or maybe he's going to get whatever he thinks he's owed. I don't know. I'm just like assuming because I don't know enough. But it seems really strange to me that this needs to be a topic right now. Like, I just still don't get it. Like, it seems like, and don't get me wrong, it seems like the purpose is to kind of embarrass Batman and make it seem as if he's asking for something, or that he's doing something nefarious by extorting, or like, is he asking for the money and he's so pissed off that he didn't get what he was promised that he wants to go and tag everybody and be on he's having a rant, or like an episode.
Hold on, Saint, can I have a little conversation with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember when we were talking and it was like David was saying we need the fudders, we need the negativity, and it was like that was their marketing campaign, that was the tactics, like, let's keep people talking about it, we'll call these guys fudders. Kind of feels like this could be the same move here made by CCB, like let's do a bit of marketing here.
Potentially. But I think I could hear as I watched Batman, he didn't seem his normal, like, oh, I'm just fucking around here self. Like, you know how he is. He'll go and do him, and for right or wrong, he's just
I hate
fun.
to say this, and this is the thing, he's right here on the stream now as well, and he'll deny it, I know he will, but the impression I get is exactly what Batman said in this case, just on this particular point. I'm not in the habit of agreeing with the guy, but he believes that Robert, TDN, is part of David and the hierarchy and the whole thing, the arbitrage thing that happened there. And in one sense, you could say that Robert is kind of CCB's handler at the minute, just to keep things, how they should be. And it's quite believable. That's, I'm not trying to, all right, it's speculation, but it's very believable.
Well, I mean, I like all the guys. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but yeah, I don't know. I actually, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no comment on that.
Well, before TDN says anything, I said it in chat. It doesn't matter what I say on this stream. I don't think anybody that's listening, and I'm not trying to be rude, I don't think that anybody that's either in that chat or that may potentially be watching this stream is going to play the game anyway. So it's not a PR move. The whole point is I wanted to come on here because I've gotten request after request after request. Clear the air, Daniel. Clear the air.
I respect that,
And
CCB. I respect that.
You know, and so when he started attacking me personally and attacking something that I'm not only my own personal fucking money, but my livelihood on.
Rectangle. Sorry, rectangle made me
People
laugh.
don't understand. What people don't understand is this: if in Coin Lotto, if I was to do something wrong and get in trouble, right? They can come back and then take all my healthcare businesses too.
Yeah.
Why would I knowingly go into something and put all my legal information and not have a scapegoat or something like that if that was my intention?
CCB, listen, this is, and I hope, I don't think you understand, like from a point when and I'm going to say this word again, I know it's horrible to you, but it is technically the correct word. When I say groomed, when I say that, I want to explain what I mean by that. And this might be a rude conversation, but look, I've got to put that into perspective. And let me ask you a question, in fact. You see, the young, unfortunately, and this isn't something that's nice, but it's an associated word. And I want to really get the point across, so I'm going to say it. You see these unfortunate young girls that get groomed by disgusting, evil men to do nefarious things when they're...
So
you understand where I'm coming from. It's not their fault, is it, CCB? Like, ultimately. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's because of the grooming actions of these dirty, evil men that they're led to believe a certain thing and they fall into whatever trap that they fall into.
Yep.
So when I say that I feel, and again, I'm only being true to how I feel. When I say that I feel that you were groomed by certain individuals into the situation, that's not me trying to put blame on you, and I'm not trying to degrade you in that sense. If anything, I'm saying that you didn't go in there with intent to do any harm to people. When it comes to the past, CCB, if you want to look in the past, when everything was falling apart for you back once again on YouTube, when I first came and followed your channel, was I not there defending and supporting you, giving you whatever integrity or helping you gain integrity in the space again? Did I not do that for you?
Yep.
So from that point, that's what I'm trying to... And then, you know, there's been a whole load of stuff that's happened along the way, like we were talking about before, FUD this way, that way. And I appreciated that you always, even... You never corrected anybody, but you never would say a wrong word as well. So I appreciated that, even though... You know, everybody else was saying whatever they were saying at the time. So I have respect for you from that point of view, CCP. But then, when it's been like so long, a year and a half now, bro, and it's now when we get to the point of everything that's going on, I still believe it's the case. And I see now, even after discussing the financials of what's going on and everything, I still want to believe, I still probably do believe that, you know, you have, even right now, have every best intent for the future, for your project, for what you're doing, for your integrity. But, bro, when you're swimming with sharks, you know, it's unfortunate
until I can get that original, you know, pimple off my back, I can't really move forward. I get what you're saying.
You know what's really unfortunate is that, like, you know, I know it doesn't mean much, but I think we've been telling you this for a long time, bro. And like the idea that it was wise to have included David as a public figure in the whole conversation of Coin Lotto is probably what really did you in. Like the obvious collapse of arbitraging. Let's say you had all 100% great intentions. The collapse of arbitraging immediately turned that negativity towards you.
Yep.
And so now, David's on my
But when I made that video, I had no clue
hold on,
was
let me
gonna
finish.
happen.
I don't care about the videos. I'm just trying to say, like, we spoke. I know, like I said, I personally told you this is going to be a problem. And I'm talking about last year.
Yep.
It's a long time. Like, I don't know if it would have been wise. I think it would have been better to spend. Now I don't know why lawyers cost as much as they do, whatever the case is, but I think the first 100,000 would have been better spent on giving David whatever he spent on the machine, so that they were, and then y'all could have been done at that point. But I mean, it's too late now. The point is, like, I don't really see a way forward for you.
At that point, I never thought it would turn into this.
Yeah, no, I don't really.
To be honest, I never thought it would turn into this.
But that's unfortunate. But after the fact of the future being kind of seen in advance, you're telling me, like, yo, this is a problem, and this is what's going to hold you back. I mean, I'm talking about, when was the race where you got the the letters on the car?
That was a couple months ago. I think it's during the summer, because I was so excited about that.
The beginning.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
what? I mean, we were trying to do it. We were trying to do a 5-race deal with them.
I know about it.
But we literally made nothing off of it. And it's
I'm bringing that up to say that as long as months have gone by, I was telling you that then, and I'm sure I was telling you that before. I'm sure other people were saying it as well. But it's crazy, man. I don't know, man. I'm not a hater, man. I just feel like it's gonna be tough, and I don't really see a way out.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is, whether it comes from my pocket or whether it comes from people playing the games or whatever, my goal right now is to try to bring more players in.
Yeah. CCB, what happens tomorrow? The way I look at it. What happens tomorrow if somebody wins 10 grand, or if multiple people win and you've got 10K to pay out?
That's when the
shit hits the fan.
The contract with the investors would kick in.
Okay, so is there a price range at the moment set in that?
I think it's anything over 5,000.
So you're liable for up to the first 5,000 just to keep paying that.
Yeah, but you also got to remember too, if someone wins a jackpot, they only initially get 30% up front.
Okay.
And then it goes on a what's it called? Annuity, a 7-year annuity.
Okay. I didn't know that, but is that advertised on the website?
Yes.
Okay.
Just like a lot of.
It also states that if someone wins the jackpot, I have an agreement with a money management company that will work with the jackpot winner to, if they choose to, diversify their income into other stocks and bonds, including cryptocurrency. And that is a 20-year licensed broker. And that is also on the website.
All right, CCB, I mean, is there anything else, bro, you wanted to add? Or I'll give you opportunity to plug Coin Lotto as well. I'm not trying to just make it all one side.
No,
I gave my points as well.
I'm not here to plug it. I mean, if you want to play, it's there.
Cracks me up.
I mean, my thing is this. All I ask is if you haven't done the research, at least on the program, okay? Take associations out, and I know that's hard to do, but do your research. If you enjoy playing the lottery and hopefully soon the casino, because I really haven't been able to tell people about that, but I don't have the money to get that going yet. So that's where these big pilots in Mexico and DR are going to come in and help. And but I know TDN wanted to say something earlier. I'm sorry. Go ahead, TDN.
Well, I was just going to clear up the whole point that Sonny keeps bringing up, where I became an admin, and I thought I had made that clear earlier. At the end of October, the 28th to be exact, was the date that David hired me to be a consultant for their support and security. That's when he made me, a week later, I was quote unquote added as an admin to the Telegram. Did I want to be admin in the Telegram? No. He made me that so that his hope was that as I fixed the support program, that I would be able to influence the other admin to use the proper support program and be a little bit more professional. Did that work? No, because he turned around and he made Thomas Brown in charge of support. He pulled me off of it because the guys were complaining that I was trying to change too much stuff and they didn't like the new style and the new this, that, and the other. And I was completely pulled off of the arbitrage project. That's when they took my admin status. They took my access to the email system, the ticketing system, and all that. That was the only time that I was an admin for arbitrage.
Okay. Are you working for Coin Lotto now?
Am I working for Coin Lotto? I'm helping Coin Lotto. To infer that I'm working for Coin Lotto, you would have to expect that I would make a salary of some sort.
I didn't infer anything. I just asked a question, bro.
Well, no. I mean, in order to be considered an employee, I would have to have a contract with the intention of payment. I do not have that. I told
He's
Daniel
helping me. He's helping me out as a friend.
Okay.
That I would help him out to get things back on track where they're supposed to be, because the people that he had relied on that promised him they would be there through thick and thin to help, they all pretty much disappeared and told him to fuck off. So I stepped in and told him that I would help.
Was that David? Was David who was in that group of people, and why did they fuck off? When did they fuck off?
This was the.
I'm trying to understand. Please don't take it the wrong way.
Maybe fuck off is not the right word. That's the word.
That's what he said, but not me. I was just asking the question.
There was some disagreements on how I was quote unquote running the platform.
Was that back from that interview time, CCB? I remember there was one time you were on doing a live stream and I was asking you some questions in the chat, and it's when you were indecisive as to whether to call David an investor or not. Was that from that time? I'm just trying to get a clear picture in my head of what happened.
I apologize. I don't remember that.
All right. Okay.
That live stream.
So, Robert, you're saying you're helping CCB now was just because obviously CCB's been left on his own, and these. Sorry, go on. You're about to tell us.
Yeah, the people that I was referring to that kind of fucked off. It was the original influencers because they couldn't figure out what they were wanting to do.
PJ3, Austin, Clover,
Adam Hole.
Well, I don't know who all was in the original group, because when...
That's right. I'm not wrong, am I, CCB? If you don't want to say the names, but I remember Whale. Was it Whale as well? Whale was there. I've seen a picture of Whale and PJ3 out in some weird T-shirts trying to promote somewhere. So I know they were associated.
That was at a cryptocurrency trade show.
That's right. Yeah.
Or yeah.
And then there was some whole beef with Clover as well, because he was going to be a part of it, then he wasn't, and then your lawyers told you don't associate because of the BitConnect thing.
There's a lot of stuff going there, yeah.
A lot of beef with Clover.
And you guys have to understand, when I quit working for David and started telling everybody and reporting to the SEC and them the stuff that I had dug up while I was working for him, that actually caused a huge rift between me and CCB. We actually stopped talking for almost 10 months. I mean, it wasn't until just recently when all the influencers walked out that me and him actually reconnected. We talked everything out, and that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to help you, because I want to see this project actually be a success, because I can't let my homie go down in flames over some shit that other people fucked up for him.
So how do you feel about
legitimately what I said?
Oh, how do you feel about all the? I mean, after you, Robert, no. I mean, obviously you're kind of on the ball, like you said. There's some stuff that's gone down in ARB. How do you feel about all the kind of association and the lingering associations now still with David Peterson or Jeremy Roundsville or whatever you want to call him? For Coin Lotto and CCB.
So this is exactly the stipulations that I put in with CCB, and he can verify this with you. When I told him that I was going to help him, I said, look, I can't help you if David has any direct involvement. And that's when he said, well, I still have a contract with him to pay off the machines. And I said, well, you know what? The first thing we need to do is to push to try to get the funds so that we can pay him off and get that off our ass. I said, that's the first thing we have to do is get that off our ass, because that is going to be held against us irregardless of what we do. And it's going to be an uphill battle because of that. That's when me and him, that's when he told me, he said, we're trying to work out some things in other countries. And we started getting on the object that the U.S. was not the market we wanted to focus on. We needed to focus on South America, Europe, Asia, places like that where they're not as strict on crypto and where they don't have, government funded lotteries, where it's something that we could actually be able to utilize and push to help other people get involved.
Okay.
But I was very open and adamant about the fact that we needed to get that whole.
Actually, you said it a whole lot. You said it a whole lot nicer on here than you did with me.
Well, that's because two friends are allowed to talk shit to each other and allowed to be blunt.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice for the people that are watching.
All right. Okay.
So
I mean, we've been through everything. I don't know if there's anything else that anybody wants to add in that sense, but.
Well, one more thing I want to add.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, of course not.
So there was a comment that was made that it proves that Coin Lotto is a scam because nobody's won yet. And the whole point, and when I talked to TDN about this, I said, look, you can go to Mega Millions right now. I think it's megamillions.com or something like that. They average between 10 to 12 million tickets sold twice a week. So that's 24 million tickets sold a week, and they still average 3 months for a winner. So it's going to take some time, unless somebody just has a horseshoe in their ass. It's going to take time to win while we're building up this, But if somebody does win, that's gonna be the best thing that ever happened, and probably the worst thing that ever happened. So, that's how I.
Why the best and the worst?
Well, it'd be the best thing that ever happened, because that would show people getting paid and the publicity and stuff like that. The worst thing is unless we're making the money to cover that, then guess who's liable for it?
Please don't tell me it's you, CCB.
You got to have a guarantor, don't you?
Wow.
Investors are going to want their money back one way or another. And when you're getting large funds of money like that, 100K plus, these are not your everyday retail investors. These are big guys. These are multi-millionaire company owner guys.
Yeah, like DP
I just had a meeting last week with a guy. He owns a football team in Europe.
Okay, bro, that's nice for you. But at the end of the day, you're
no. I'm just saying that those are the people I'm trying. When I talk about those investors, those are the people I'm talking to. It wasn't $105,000 investors, if you know what I mean. Hopefully that comes across the way it's supposed to.
Have another shot at it if you want, bro. I'm not kind of following what you were saying.
No, so I'm saying it was the best because, of course, it would show that people are, people can win. And then, of course, once the payments start going out, people will be able to track it. I know all about tracking wallets. You guys are fucking scientists at that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if it's on the blockchain,
and that was the big thing. That was the big thing for me is, being able to see that money going out. Then nobody could say, well, they're not fucking paying. I think that's the big thing. And that's what we kind of been waiting on. And I think that's what some people have been waiting on, is to see if money going in, but no money going out, That's a problem. I.e. ARB.
Goodness.
It's a difficult. It's a sticky
You know?
situation you found yourself in, bro, to say the least.
But that's a lot of the reason. That's a lot of the reason why there was calculated moves made. Why we didn't have an ICO. Why, because I would rather have to answer to these 3, 4, 5, 7 people than to answer to 100,000 people.
I think the smartest thing would have been if you wanted to do everything by the book. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm gonna shut up.
No, please.
Saying. Well, I mean, like unfortunately, hindsight is 20/20. I'm not saying it wasn't a good idea or plan in the beginning, but probably the issue is just undercapitalization. Like you're undercapitalized for this idea. Like if you don't like say right now, all these funds that were available, like say for example, you had seed investors and DP put forward the money for the machines.
Yep.
How was marketing zero part of that budget? It's just
originally we did have a marketing team.
No. I'm not talking about team. I'm talking about budget. Of that, hold on.
I paid $30,000 a month for a real company to market us, and they didn't do shit.
How much?
$31,000 a month.
No way, bro. Come on, man. You could have gave me like 3 G's. I would have had y'all all
Just
over.
be straight up. Just be straight up, CCB. Did David hook that guy up for you?
Did David hook what guy up for me?
The guy that you paid $31,000 to, bro, a month that did nothing.
No, they came in. They came in and did interviews. That we had like 4 different companies that come in and did interviews.
Bro.
And I'll be glad to show you the contract where in the receipts where I paid.
Nah, forget the contract, bro. If you pay $30,000 a month and no one knows about Queen Lotto, y'all have nothing going on. That's fucking outrageous, bro. You could have did better. You could listen.
That's why they're no longer with us.
Listen, if it was all above board and it's legal and all that, you would have did better with Facebook, Google ads, all this nonsense.
They kept saying that we had to build a digital footprint. They kept saying that
they DP'd you, bro, and that's that simple. They had all the right buzzwords. But they basically scammed you because there's no way. How many months did you pay them for marketing?
4.5.
Oh, motherfuck me, man. So while we're in the stream here, listen.
But I really can't talk about much because there is.
I understand. I'm talking to any project managers out there. For 5% of that total sum, we could get you out there. That's all I'm saying. Oh my God.
Sincerely, me. At least you didn't pay 1.3 million to a Russian marketing team.
No, there you go with that.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back, Saint.
That was the reason why we went with a traditional marketing team was because, yes, we want to bring those crypto people in, but our main market was going to be the people that already play lottery as it is. Now you can play lottery from the comfort of your home, and everything's digitized, everything's this, everything's that, and it makes it so much easier for the common player. And at the same time, I hoped that it would inspire people to learn more about crypto. And if you look at all the current reports that are currently out, every quarter, more and more people are learning about cryptocurrency. So the whole point of this project was to use a relatable product, because the gambling industry is a $700 billion a year worldwide market.
Yeah.
No, everybody and their mama knows what a lottery is. Now we just got to change your thought to saying, okay, let's say I live up north. If you live in the United States, let's say I live up north. I got buddies that live in Jersey and Connecticut and stuff like that. And they're like, dude, it'd be 4 foot of snow, and you still got people at the damn 7-Eleven an hour before Powerball comes out. When you could be sitting at the house drinking a beer and get your tickets.
Oh man, CCB, I'm still devastated for you, man. Like, I don't get it. I don't.
I feel bad for you, bro, as well. Like, I wouldn't wish anybody to be in that position.
Stupid is as stupid does.
It's horrible.
But you know what? I mean, the thing about it is,
uphill battle to make it legit.
You know,
I would be more concerned, Robert, about the liabilities right now.
It's been legit since day one.
It's not a question of legit or not, CCB. It's that even if you just forget, let's say everything is 100% legit. I'll give it you, bro. Yep. It's all legit. Okay. You're in a very dangerous position right now, CCB. Either you're trying to say that, look, the whole bet is nobody's ever going to win this lottery, and that is our business model, that nobody ever wins it, which is doomed to fail. And, you know, these other lotteries, they have weekly winners as well, bro, and they're paying those weekly winners out weekly because they have so much participation that somebody hits the number.
They have the volume,
At the numbers that you're hitting at the minute, nobody is technically, you know, you could say nobody's going to win that, but that's not encouraging. It's not.
The original marketing model was to have YouTubers and influencers out, you know, just like, you know, you see on YouTube every day with, you know, whether it be cloud token, whether it be this, whether it be that, you know.
What I'll say, CCB.
That was the original model.
CCB, hold on. Why is it that you ended up, listen, hear me out, please. You spent $31,000 a month for 4 months. Do you know that you could get these YouTubers to do damn near anything for $10 a video, $15 a video? And how far that type of well, I shouldn't even be saying it, man. I don't want to enable nobody, but I'm just saying. You see these dudes. No, I'm saying you see these YouTubers. They'll go to bat, and I'm not talking about the ones you had. They're all dickheads, right? So forget them. But there's plenty of crypto YouTubers out there that'll do a video for $1,000, $100, $25, $50, $10. It's crazy. They had people making our videos for 10 ARB they couldn't do shit with.
But my question to you is this: in affiliate marketing, does Tupperware pay you before you go out and do a Tupperware party?
I have no idea.
Does
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
I thought that with the commission-based income structure that we had, that they would come in, people would click their link, they would play, right? And
I understand that.
Commission based on that would be paid.
Bro, what are you going to take him to school now? 101, business school 101.
Yes,
that's the question. Like.
Because here's the thing: if that shit, if it didn't go down like that, at some point, to give a marketing firm, whoever the hell they were, you need to go sue them. By the way, you know, at least you might recoup that 120 and pay off some people or whatever. The point is,
there's an open legal case with that right now.
All the money's gonna get swallowed up in legal fees, bro. It'll all be gone.
That's crazy as fuck. You would look for a pro bono attorney. But let's get past that. What I'm saying is, at some point, I would have contracted them on a monthly basis, period. Maybe even 2 weeks. I mean, a month is fair. You want $31,000 a month?
200,000's already been paid in legal fees, bro.
No. I'm saying he paid them already. The marketing firm. What I'm saying is
he paid 110 to them, or whatever it works out to be.
Whatever. I'm just saying.
But 200,000 he's paid already, bro, in legal fees.
I'm not talking about the legal fees. I'm talking about just the marketing. If after he paid him for 4.5 months, if after 1 month at $30,000 they didn't perform, we're done. $90,000 saved. You know what I'm saying? Like, say you paid him for 4.5 months, you paid him 120 grand.
All I kept hearing was it takes time to build a digital footprint. It takes time to do.
And they should have heard you. Did you give him all the money at once?
No, it was a monthly basis.
You should have told him, you want this next month? You give me results, you get your $30,000. Story end of. You don't like it, sue me. Whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? Or take your business elsewhere. Oh, you probably don't have none because they ain't producing no results.
And that's kind of what happened. But it took 4 months.
Yeah. No. Man, wow.
Sensei Lami's asking.
You should have consulted. Matter of fact, I'm gonna charge $100 an hour. I'm just playing.
Quick, Sensei Lami's asking, does Coin Lotto still have masternode revenue from ticket sales from holding X amount of WGT tokens? I remember there being a dividend structure.
No reward. The reward system is not active yet.
I think the short answer is no to that, Sensei Lami.
Man, this shit is crazy. I'm almost beside myself for you.
Yeah.
Be in this respect.
CCB, you know, like, I want to try and offer some advice as well, because I don't just want people to think that it's all negative. And yeah, Saint, I get what you're saying. I don't, but
and the thing about it is, I didn't have to tell y'all about the marketing firm.
No, you didn't, bro. You didn't.
So up on that.
I'm not attacking you by saying that stuff, CCB.
No. I know you're not. I know you're not attacking me.
I'm just thinking. I'm trying to put myself.
I just want people to understand that
accounting.
Things have been done to fucking try to get this thing going, and shit didn't work out. So we had to change our business model, and basically start fresh.
Okay, CCB, I'm just going to tell you this now, though, bro. After the stream, maybe not today because it's getting late for me where it is, but at some point over the weekend, if you get in touch with me, I'd love to have a conversation with you just to try and give you an idea. It's something radical. It's to give you an idea of how possibly you could move forward. I don't want to discuss it openly on the stream right now because there's other people listening. But me personally, do you remember I sent you a video a long time ago and I told you that wasn't fake? From that point of view, CCB, yeah, I'd like to have a conversation with you and offer at least some constructive advice and a path for how, and maybe even a couple of contacts that you can use to try and move forward. But that's something separate. I do feel for you, bro. I understand that you have been as transparent and honest, as you've been today, bro. I respect that. I do like that, and I enjoy to see that in the space. So
thank you, sir.
Fair play to you for that, bro.
It's crazy. You should just give me their address. I'll go beat it out of them for you, bro. They won't even see me coming. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's the type of thing. That's the position, and that's the thing, man. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. That's wow.
All right, CCB, we got a question from the chat. Do you think perhaps it's time to speak to the SEC, FBI to protect yourself from Arb and Jeremy?
I have to. We'll just say that I have discussed that with my attorney.
Yeah.
I have, because that question has been raised several times. So I have had a conversation with my attorney, and if anything was to ever happen, then I have everything in place.
Charlie Kelso wants to know, can we get CCB live streams back, please?
If I can if everybody quit downvoting me.
It needs some thumbs up, guys.
If we can finally do a live stream and not be hassled about damn ARB, I'd love to be able to, because there's a lot of cool stuff I'm learning, about trading and things like that I want to show people.
Yeah.
I tried to do that the other day, and about a week or so ago, because me and TDN and some of my old gaming buddies, we had that kind of like what we used to call down by the campfire, thing, and where we was just cutting up, having fun. And then I did that video about what I'm learning about trading, and what I was going to do a video with Signal Trade Pros and with IBYG Crypto. And things like that, trying to promote them guys, because they're really, really good at what they're doing, at what they do.
Well, let me say something too, though, man. I think you should probably take an index of the people that you're talking about and realize that they are still working for them dudes, man. And I know it's hard to see because you think on a personal level, a lot of them cool. Like, see, for example, you're doing you were with our whatever. On a personal level, you're cool, right? And a lot of the guys that work with them are, and I'm not talking about the working with them in like this weird official, like nefarious capacity. I'm saying like these dudes are sucked into the circle of stuff that this same group that's behind all that is putting out. And it's like a circle jerk of still dealing with these same individuals, whether the YouTubers realize it or not. I'm
Bro, I
100%
just thought of something.
convinced
Sorry,
that's a
yeah.
real thing.
CCB, when Austin left, how could you not know, bro? At that point, though, you remember when Austin left, Saint?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, for fuck's sake, even if Austin can work this out, bro, Austin worked it out and left. Like, it's one of those. If I just feel like, from that point, anybody who's in ARB, if you can see Austin work out, it's a scam. But I get it, CCB. Listen, I'm not trying to we obviously
No,
there's
Austin. In case you guys didn't know, and I love Austin to death, and I guess
I do as well, bro.
whatever.
Despite everything,
But he is very emotional.
Really. Are
He
you
is
still in
very,
touch with
very
him, bro?
emotional.
Can I ask you a
No,
question?
I have not.
You're not.
I have not.
That's a shame.
It is a shame. But like, for example, he would get upset with me. Like, for example, okay, I'm gonna give you guys an example. At World Crypto, was it World CryptoCon? Yeah. At World CryptoCon was actually the first time that I kind of, ooh, what the hell? Sorry, I'm in my garage, so I can't just try to come in my garage. Anyway, was the first time that I tried to network and tell people about Coin Lotto, right? And, it was like super hush hush, and, I got to, I used that opportunity like a lot of people do to network. Well, but he got mad at me because I didn't hang out with him. And I'm like, dude, I'm over here trying to work.
He was mad at you for promoting Coin Lotto and moving away from ARB at that time, bro. He was mad at, I remember watching his videos.
What he told me was, this is what he told me.
Yeah.
Is, because me and him used to talk every day on Telegram, right? Voice chat, like call, and it was like I started getting busy, and then I wasn't calling him, and then we go to WCC, and then instead of like hanging out with him and and some of the other guys, I was out there trying to network.
Yeah, and I think Randy makes a fair point as well.
Oh, you made me feel bad because I wanted to hang out with you, and I thought we were friends. But that was just like one situation. I mean, nothing against him. We talked it out, and everything was cool. But he's a very emotional person, and I'm one of them type of people that when I work, I put my nose down, and that's it.
Tunnel vision, maybe even sometimes.
Yeah, I get tunnel vision. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I say, it's. I want to say. I mean, at the end of the day, thanks for being so open and transparent, CCB. If nothing else, yeah, it's put things into perspective maybe a little bit more. I'm not saying that my opinion of what's happened has changed, but like I said, I never really felt CCB. I questioned your integrity, but okay, speaking to you today, I do feel that maybe maybe you've been a little bit just gullible in the whole situation.
Well, and a lot of people have told me, oh, everything kind of fell, and I think you were one of them. Everything fell apart when you started doing videos, about ARB and everything like that.
Oh, don't blame me, bro.
No. I think you and I had a conversation about this.
Yeah.
And I'm not throwing you out there like that. I'm just saying.
The thing is, though, the difference was CCB, and I told you this back then as well.
The whole thing is I'm trying to just be.
I've not been. I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't kind of financially associated with ARB or dependent, or I didn't have any ARB, so I would just call it how I saw it. And I told you this
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Look, I've given evidence. If you take the time to look, I've given evidence in my videos of everything that I've said. Everything. I've not made anything up. I've not lied. I've told the truth. So if people hate me for that, I'm willing to take that hate. That's on them, not me. I know I've been
Yeah.
honest. I know I've been truthful, and from that point, I don't. There's people that have listened to CryptoSaint. There's people that have listened to me and that have taken their money out of ARB, and they thank us today. I've got messages, so many people thanking us for doing what we did so that they could make the decision to get out, and ultimately it saved them a whole lot of value and money now.
Yeah.
Because of those videos. So we talked about this before, and I don't know, like I say, I understand, CCB, that you're in a position now that makes you have to be a certain way, let's just say. You know what I mean? That's the politest way I can put it. And I wish you luck. I'm going to speak to you on the side, but I think that Robert, TDN, telling you that you need to be able to cut all associations and ties with David from a first point is something definitely need to look into. And the second thing, in fact, what I should have said to be the first and most worrying point is the financial risk that you've put yourself in, the position that you've put yourself in by running Coin Lotto. Should somebody win, should you have the misfortune of somebody winning twice in 2 weeks, it's devastating.
Well, I will say this.
For you personally,
Yeah.
because your name's on it, and like
Yep.
you said, you've got other businesses that could be held liable. You could be held
Yep.
liable for as well. It scares me for you, bro. As a human being, one man to another, I'm worried for you
Yeah.
in that situation, and
Well,
that
I've
for
got-
me stands above anything else, CCB. Because that's your life.
CCB, if Coin Lottos fails, it's LLC, right?
Well, we would call it an LLC. Yes.
Okay, so basically, if in the event that over a period of time it doesn't perform, you could just file bankruptcy, right? Like they're not going to
Correct.
come after you personally. They will go after the LLC.
I would have, like I said, in the States, we call it an LLC because the companies are formed out of country. They're called SRLs.
What's the acronym stand for?
It's in Spanish, so I can't say it. But basically, it's an LLC.
Okay,
It's their version of an LLC.
All right, it's just a different wording, but it's the same legal,
yes,
right?
Correct.
Okay.
So I would have to. I still have that corporate shield. If you know anything about, like, for example, my healthcare businesses, are S corps. So different things like that. You got C corp, S corp, everything. You still have that corporate shield for some liability. But that is possible.
Yeah. So you're like, yeah. What I'm saying is, on a personal level, as far as you individually, yeah, you can be sued, but like on behalf of the corporation, not personally sued, though, right?
Correct.
All right. Well, good for you.
And the thing about it is, let's say we packed up shop right now. Okay. Let's say it happened today. Then those contracts with those people that are the guarantors, we didn't use that money, so they can't hold that over my head. The only thing that they can hold over my head is the initial seed money that was put in. But even then, you've got all the accounting aspect of it that can show where the money went, and it sure as fuck didn't go in my pocket. So all funds are accounted for.
I mean, some of it should, right? You don't get paid a salary.
I can barely hear you.
I said, some, like, shouldn't you be getting paid something, like a salary?
Well, I should, but anytime that you're a business owner, you're the last one to get paid.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, here's my thing. like with my healthcare businesses, I know that I have to have X amount of patients in my home in order for me to be able to pay all the bills and have extra money. If I'm below that quota, then I don't have extra money that month.
Yeah. I get it. What I'm saying is, like, say for example, you ran, let's say you started a company and you got initial investments. None of that, like, you're just working for free. Everybody's just watching you work.
Yep.
That's poor structure. I'm not saying it takes something exorbitant, but you should have appropriated yourself like living expenses so you could focus on that.
But see, my thing is this.
I'm not talking about crypto. I'm just talking about from a business perspective.
No,
like if
but my thing is this: I don't need the money from.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying. Yeah. No,
I'm able to pay my monthly whatever I need monthly through my other businesses.
Yeah. That's from that perspective. Well, I'm thinking of like a random person that doesn't have a bunch of income already or businesses.
And I'm very fortunate with my situation.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, if an average person was going to raise some funds for a business, the same way you got to pay your secretary, and I'm like I said, take the crypto thing out of it. I'm just talking about regular business. The people that work for the business on a daily basis should be compensated. I'm not saying that it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it's one of those things that, like, if you're not some wealthy individual, then this is not going to be possible for you to live a day-to-day life and focus 100% on a business. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's just like when I opened up my martial arts school. I never took a quote unquote paycheck until we started turning a profit.
Yeah, naturally. No, what I'm saying is, if from like like in a business, just from a business perspective, that is part of your profit. That's your expenses. Like if I open a photography store and my store is grossing, $5,000 a week, if let's say my wife wanted to do it, if she was working 40, 60 hours a week because she can't afford to hire people, or like she doesn't have someone responsible that she wants there for oversight, then she's going to give herself a part of that salary. She's going to appropriate herself a salary so that she can be there.
Why would you? Well,
why wouldn't you?
Because at the end of the day, that's when you're going to make your money.
No. This is how business is going to work, though.
I have never once.
I'm not talking about your business. I'm talking about.
I'm just saying though, if you go and open a photography store, right, or whatever,
hold on.
Why would you hire?
Let me answer the question. You said why, and then you cut me off.
I'm sorry.
If my wife, whose time is valuable, meaning she's a housewife right now, if she said, well, I'm going to go open a photography store, and I say, you know what, sweetheart, here's the money down to go do it, and off of that revenue, you're going to appropriate yourself a paycheck every week. And that is part of the business's expenses. Not to say that she's going to take it all. The business has to be capitalized, but for her hours that she works, she should get paid as would an employee.
And I agree. And I agree with that. However, let me interject with this. If you make $5,000 a month and it costs you $4,900 in bills,
naturally,
are you going to pay her salary, or is she just going to take the $100?
No, naturally, part of that $4,900 better be the salary, or you're in the wrong business. And I understand. I know the whole deal. I'm just saying, like, this is. We could go back and forth with this all day. I was just making the point that
yeah. I understand.
If you're going to give 100% of yourself to the business, it has to do something for you. That's like people that open restaurants. You see them go into massive debt, and they can't let it go because they're not. Number one rule of like life, retirement, all that shit. Number one, even if you work a day job, number one rule: pay yourself. Take 10% and put that shit away. Now, you got all these bills and all this other stuff, of course, but you pay. Then if after you pay yourself, meaning for your retirement or whatever you're saving for, 401k or whatever, after you pay yourself, then you can go look and say, I can afford this, this, and this. You know, there's no such thing as bills. You're the first person that gets paid every time you get a paycheck.
Wow.
And that's the difference.
I look at it differently. I look at the bills and the business.
I understand. You're doing that from the perspective of you have a working business already, so you're not looking to start. Like, in other words, the average person is looking to start a business because they don't want to work for a living and they need a different way of earning a living.
Correct.
Most people can't afford to wait 1 or 2 years. The business may not be profitable. That doesn't mean that you aren't going to get paid for the time you're putting into the business.
Correct.
But the business can be unprofitable. You personally don't have to be broke in that process. That's just nonsense.
You got to know how to use your deductions.
Yeah, it's just basic, period. Like, it's not about deductions or anything. It's common sense. If you're an employee, meaning you run the business day to day, you're an employee of your own business. So you appropriate yourself, a reasonable salary, naturally. I mean, at the end of the day, the business is yours. All the money's yours. But what I'm saying is to separate the two so that at the end of the day, you really see what's going on. Is my business making money? Because then you have to think about it like this. There's the day's going to come where I'm going to step away from it and I'm going to appoint a manager. And that funds needs to be already accounted for in the equation. And it's only
and it's the same way when I moved out of the facility to Tennessee. Now I have to pay an employee to be there.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So I completely understand. Yes.
Yeah, in a personal level, if you're good, then you're good. But I'm just talking about. But I was just wondering because if not to say that again, it's not about you needing the money. It would kind of make me beside myself if you were given 100% of yourself to this for how many months now? You've given away $120,000 for marketing, and out of all this, all you're gonna end up with is liability. That's crazy. That's really crazy.
It is scary, bro. It's scary.
And that's why we're restructuring.
So why restructuring? What do you mean?
That's why we're changing our marketing and trying to do different things.
Oh, okay, you're not like detailing that right now.
Well, I put out that we've got, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like, you're not really ready to talk about all that. Like, that is not.
Well, we put out that we've got that we're working on putting out a in the Dominican Republic. They have what's called bancas, which is these little establishments. They kind of look like little sheds, right? Mm-hmm. You know how, like, here, if we want to go buy a lottery ticket, we go to 7-Eleven, Quick Stop, whatever. They have these little sheds, and that's where you buy your lotteries. They have 7 lotteries a day.
Okay.
3-ball lotteries. And so we've actually got a business, I guess we'll call him a business partner, in the Dominican Republic who owns about 20 of these bancas. Right. Mm-hmm. So we have restructured to where a physical person can come into this banca and play coin lotto. Now, they're not interested in the free lottery. They're not interested in Moonball. What they're interested in is the new game that we're coming out with called Jackpot Lotto. Okay. And because of the way that it's built, then that's why they're interested in it.
Who is they? You keep saying they.
The gentleman and his business partner in the Dominican Republic.
Okay, so you're going to basically you're pitching new angel investors to get recapitalized.
Correct.
All right, and then from there, we're not We're not going with the crazy marketing plan.
Crazy
Robert,
what?
the crazy marketing plan with the.
Oh, no.
Fuck that. That's crazy.
No.
All right.
That's good. I mean, that sounds all great, but
What?
when you've got, well, I don't want to say it. It's a terrible
I
thing.
mean, it's not a place. I'm not trying to
I'm sorry, my wife was talking to me. She's like, "You tell Saint, I want to know when he's gonna make his first coin lotto video." He laughed at you.
CCB,
But,
listen, let me tell you something, right? I'm not going to go around calling Coin Lotto a scam as such, yeah? Out of respect for you. And I don't think I have called Coin Lotto a scam.
I did, but it's because of ARB, and I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say, if you get in it, if you hear me talking or you hear me say anything, you have to understand that it's from the point of view and perspective that I've explained here today, because of the associations that are with ARB. I mean, it's not, bro. I'm busy doing my own thing at the minute. It's not even that I'm out there talking about this. Somebody asked me, "Can you put this together today?"
Which, by the way, I am going to plug something, but it's not going to be Lotto. This index thing is phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. It, from what I've read on the website, it looks great. And I really think that it's going to take off.
I appreciate that, CCB.
That was smart.
I appreciate you saying that, bro.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not. I just want to go back, CCB. I've got no hate for you. Like you say, we used to be friends, but I didn't like the people that you were hanging out with at the time, and you were close with them, bro. So from that point, I just moved away. I didn't try and, I've not tried to be any part of any FUD or anything like that. But when certain things come up, you know me, and it's not just you personally. When certain points come up, and I see that it looks to me that somebody's being misled here, I want to be able to say my piece on it, and I do so on my own channels. And I always try and back it up with evidence and proof of whatever I've said and whatever I believe. But I feel for you, bro, in the situation that you're in. I don't believe that you have done, other than being naive, to a degree, I don't believe that you've had any malicious intent with what you're doing. And ultimately, I still go by the whole... unfortunately, CCB, the only thing I can put it simply, the only thing that's changed for me tonight is I have a belief that, okay, you really were groomed and there isn't any actual intent, where I had recently started to question that. And that's just me being honest with you. I've always kind of stood by you and thought you were a person of integrity, but because there's been so much association, and because of, maybe it's because sometimes, like you say, you're in a position now where you are in bed with a certain person. I understand that you can't maybe be as fully open as you want to be about certain things because it would affect your current business. It's not something I agree with, but I understand at least, and I'm not trying to say.
Yeah. It's just like with the CJC thing. I really can't go into that because there's a legal affair going on right now.
Okay.
Not by me, but by the people that invested into him.
And on another point as well, listen, we do Drunk on Crypto every Friday night where we are just relaxing and having a drink. I can't promise, sometimes it does escalate on that show, but you're always welcome to jump in and say hello, have a quick drink with us on a Friday night. Look,
I love to cut up.
There you go.
I love to cut up, but I stayed away because I didn't want to be attacked, and I felt like not necessarily by you guys, but I just, the way I looked at it is, if I just keep working, I can prove to everybody that this is what's going on, and then they can't deny it.
Well, CCB, I'm going to leave this video up so people can go and view it, and then as much. And again, if there's anything more that you want to say on it, I know it's a 2-hour video already, coming up to 2.5-hour video, but I do find it's there for people if they want to go and see it and they want to go and understand about everything that we spoke about tonight. So, on that note, I'm not trying to keep it too long for people to have to go through as well.
All I want to say is I didn't come on here to promote anything. I just wanted to come on here and say, look, on this one situation with Batman, you know, because that Robert will tell you when you start tagging that stuff, they pay attention, and I'm just like, it just kind of pissed me off because I felt like I had befriended Batman and I tried to be friendly with him, and we discussed a lot of things with addiction and family members, stuff like that. And then for him to turn around and I felt like stab me in the back, and then turn around and try to, something I'm working so hard to get where it should be, where I feel like it should be, to try to crash that just because you're pissed off at me. That really concerned me, and then that's why I finally agreed, to come on here.
Sonny, CCB.
Yo.
Do you think, in all fairness, the publication of that screenshot, for whatever reason, don't you think that's like maybe a trigger for him having all this having to be done on YouTube, for example? I like at the end of the day, if he's tagging X, Y, and Z people who are going to pay attention or whatever now, do you think this is better or worse, is in the context of that?
I was just hoping it would, clear the air on quote unquote my involvement.
Okay. I feel you. Yeah. I was just weirded out, man. You beat me to it. You brought Batman up again because I was waiting for you guys to pause for a second, but I would. That
100%. That's the reason why I'm here, was because.
No, I'm saying in an intentional way, I would never mix the business of speaking about Coinlado and the personal issue with Batman. Again, that's just my take on it, and that would be the way I would deal with it. But I wouldn't put those two things. I wouldn't mesh the line. I wouldn't smear the line between those two topics.
Can I have my 2 pence worth? Also,
yeah.
Jump him straight back to DP to find something on him to try and that's not a good look either.
Yeah, I just don't think it's like in general, they shouldn't be spoken of in the same, arena anymore.
Well, and I can understand your settlement on that, but he's tagging Coinlado, but then when he's stating in here, "Hey Daniel," and he's calling me out and he's tagging me in the Twitters as well, he made it personal. So I felt like I needed to address both issues because he made it personal, and at the same time he was attacking,
Well, what I'm saying is, don't you think you're bringing more attention to it rather than, okay, let's say he did that, and let's say you got a ring or an email from one of these agencies.
Yeah.
Why not hash it out with them in private versus bring it to the table? Now it's like, if that, like him tagging you, he's tagging the company. You're saying all your names on all the paperwork anyway. So they just take one look and they're gonna find your name. It's not that serious,
Yeah.
But I think what I mean is, like, all publicity ain't good publicity. Like, at the same time, like, yeah, this might have been something that pissed you off in a way, and rightfully so, maybe. But at the same time,
on, Saint, you know me. I get pissed off and I start yelling it. I start calling them blockchain what's best, a cunt nugget, and challenging to a fight and all this other stuff.
No doubt,
me when I get pissed off.
100% though. But you gotta separate the two. CCB,
and I get that.
You gotta separate Crypto Country Boy from the the person.
Yeah.
That's in charge of this company or dealing with this company.
Well, and that's a lot of the reason why, when I went off, it's just like with the whole Clover situation.
That was rough too.
When I went on there and was pissed off with Clover and I let loose, the first thing the first thing he did is, well, this is the CEO of fucking Coin Lotto, or this. You know, and I get it. I understand. I have to hold myself to a different standard. And that's
There it is.
that's a lot of the reason why I've just kind of just sat back, did my own thing, and was like, well, I'll show everybody that this is gonna fucking work. And I didn't come out and say anything until all this finally came out. And then I started getting a lot of pressure of, you know, Daniel, you need to go and just tell it like it is. So, you know, I figured, okay, it's all out in the fucking air now. It's done. Wash my hands and go back to work.
So let me ask you this. Do you believe that it is over? Like, are you going to speak to Batman and hash out whatever the issue is, or are we going to expect a live stream from Batman?
I don't know. He's blocked me and, you know, all this other stuff. I tried to talk to him in the live stream, and, you know, he immediately, before he even said anything, cussed at me and blocked me.
I'm going to defend him on this point, only because in the context of the conversation, like what was implied was that he was directly extorting you or attempting to. If it was with DP, it wasn't clear. If he was reading that, because you know he has multiple Telegram accounts. You know, if someone sent them the messages or he was reading the conversation, that's kind of what it seemed like. I don't really see another reason for him to go live, you know, other than he felt like, what the fuck, you know? So you should think about that before you confront or speak with him following this, if at all, you know?
And I can see your point.
Yeah.
You know, but pick on, well, it's not Friday, so it's not Jaeger bombs yet. But when the first message in chat is, you know, CCB is going to expose you or start some shit. I can't remember exactly what he said, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then
yeah, I was seeing all that too, because the other day this was going on and I didn't realize what was going on. Like I was out for like half the day, and when I popped in, Batman and Robert were talking to each other in the stream.
And it kind of didn't help, you know. And then when so I can see where, like you stated earlier, I can see where that screenshot could have been
incendiary.
Yeah, I could see, you know. So, you know, I could see that.
You know, he crazy.
Now looking at it, I was just trying to prove that, you know, he's fucking mad at me and I didn't do nothing.
Okay. Maybe he misunderstood that. So now with that, like, I don't know, man. Who knows? I hope. All I'm saying is that
I tried to be a fucking friend to him, you know. And
we've all been there. Let me tell you, I'll be the first to tell. We've all been there, bro. I think a lot of people have tried to be Batman's friend.
I've been there.
Maybe his issue is he's been burned by a lot of people, so he can't tell friend from foe right now, or maybe for a while now. Who knows? You know, this is the problem, and I say this about a lot of YouTubers. If you have needs and you talk about them openly, people will look to take advantage of that, and that's probably what happened with him with this whole ARB thing. So, you know, if he was assured of things in a certain way and it turned around and that he was promoting a scam, you can see I'd be pretty apprehensive with people. Not saying it's not his own fault in a lot of ways, but that's for a lot of YouTubers. I'm dealing with one of my good friends who does the same thing all the time, and it's one of the most painful things to watch because it's like instant it's like deja vu going through it again. Where I see his, I'm telling you, like, don't be acting thirsty on your, you know, in your videos and stuff. People, they'll look and they'll be like, oh, okay, I'll give you what you need, but they're gonna get the worst out of you, and you're gonna be the one to deal with it. Not you, but the YouTuber individually. So,
yeah,
man.
That's how they probably got. That's probably how they got Batman. You know, he has some personal needs, and it was too easy. Money,
bro. That guy learned to play it, bro. He took it one step above. You know,
Yeah.
he knew that
Oh
shit
yeah,
was
but
going on,
see,
and he admits it. Like, I was.
Yep.
He shrugs off any responsibility of, the people losing their money or getting into a bad investment, because he freely admits now that, look, I was just doing it to get money out of David at that point, or whoever it might have been.
Yeah. It's very rough. It's very
It's a
rough to
terrible
see
thought, but
play out.
that's what I think. It's not even that. It's
Batman,
just sad but true. Sad but true is
cool,
the real
cool,
expression.
cool. Batman is cool, man. He's an alright person,
I don't agree, bro.
but
I'm
all this
sorry.
shit.
Nah, I don't agree with
No,
that
no,
bit.
no. But I know it's okay. I'm not saying it in like I'm not labeling him like this fucking saint or whatever, But I'm saying like I'm talking about the Batman you knew before all this ARB shit. He was cool. There's no denying
The
that.
thing
Like
is, though,
that's why
bro, the question is, though, and the whole point is that even that bit was part of the drama, bro. He was in there, in ARB, from ICO. It was all part of the plan. And that's what
Yeah.
led me to believe that, listen, if that guy can pretend to be like us, pretend to be legit, pretend, and then really be on the undercover, he's really, really slimy.
He was in ARB since ICO?
Yeah, they locked his account. That's why
Yeah.
he originally started snapping on him.
Well, that's been part of the FUD, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
do you see what I mean?
part of the play. Cause,
Part of the play, bro. You in there from ICO, in deep with David,
Yep. It's one of those things. All right.
No, wait a minute. I think I heard something about that. Okay.
Yeah, that was Austin who started taunting him because he started fighting.
Okay.
And Austin was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong, Batman? Did you get your account?" He was. It was funny as shit,
That he made him cry.
but not really. In that respect, it was pretty fun.
All right, listen, guys.
Besides the little misunderstanding at the beginning, I think this was a great conversation.
Yeah.
I appreciate giving me a platform to talk.
No problem,
And
CCB.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you being honest and open and transparent with us today, bro. Definitely, it's one of those. And like I say, I don't think there's for me personally, CCB, there's never been any hard feelings. Personally, we used to have a good laugh, and it's just because of the associations and maybe the projects, along the way that has caused any beef. I've never tried to say anything personally about you, if anything, bro, I've had your back from an integrity point of view, but I've seen how that's even landed me in trouble so many times. So I just try and keep as quiet as possible nowadays. Concentrate on what I'm doing.
Well, all I want to do is just try to work and get this stuff going and get out of this hole that I'm in, and make this thing successful because the market's there. The market's
I wish you luck with that, bro. But more than luck, I hope and I pray for you that it doesn't land you up in a worse position than you're in even right now.
So, well, I memean, worst case scenario, instead of paying the server bills, I'll pay Saint to FUD me, and we'll be all set. He is a paid FUDder.
Hey, listen, it'd be good to actually finally, after all this time, get some real FUD money, man. We'll speak about that off screen, maybe.
Oh yeah. He better not put on his super chat because I will give him money and then I'll send him $5.
All right, guys. Listen. On that note, it's past 2.5 hours. I'm going to call this a stream. Drunk on Crypto tomorrow night. Starts the same time. Everybody's welcome to click the link and join in that one tomorrow. And let's see how we go in the future. Like I say, that's all to be said, I suppose. All right, guys. I'm going to end it here then. We'll call it a stream. Good night, everybody. God bless. And if I've said anything that upsets you, then I'm sorry for that.
Are we still on air?
No, we are still on air at the minute. Yeah, if you want to say. Do you do an outro, CCB?
No. If we're off air, we're good. Like I said, that misunderstanding earlier. I apologize for getting upset. I just felt like I was getting a little attacked there, and so.
It's all right,
but I'm
CCB.
glad we were able to work it out.
I'll let you in on a little secret, bro. Nobody can hurt me without my permission.
True.
All right, bro. Good night, everybody.